much more than just viewing it.
It's truly a sensory experience, and whether you are in totality or not, you can participate in citizen science. Do you plan on enjoying the solar eclipse? If you are, then NASA wants you to become a citizen scientist. Citizen science projects call upon members of the public to volunteer in the scientific process. Citizen scientists address real-world problems in ways that may include formulating research questions, conducting scientific experiments, collecting and analyzing data, making new discoveries, and solving complex problems. These projects are collaborations between trained scientists and interested members of the public.
So if you think science is fun, then observing the solar eclipse is just one of the many ways to get involved with NASA science. By participating in these upcoming eclipse-based projects, you can help NASA researchers collect valuable data. Some of the projects happening during the 2024 solar eclipse include Eclipse Mega Movie. If you have a DSLR camera and a tripod, you can join other citizen scientists to record dynamics in the solar corona during the total eclipse.
Keep in mind, it's never safe for you or your camera to look directly at the sun. If you decide to work on this project, NASA will give you instructions on how to protect your eyes and your camera from sun damage. Be sure to visit NASA's website for more information. Don't have the correct equipment? Or maybe you're not in the path of totality. Don't worry, you can help analyze the images after the eclipse.
Eclipse soundscapes. People have different reactions to viewing eclipses, and animals do too. If you're in the path of totality and you'll be surrounded by animals, NASA wants you to listen for and record those soundscapes. Will the birds stop singing? Will crickets start chirping? Eclipse Soundscapes will revisit an eclipse study from almost 100 years ago that showed that animals and insects are affected by solar eclipses.
NASA is looking for people like you to collaborate with them. Citizen scientists have helped make thousands of important scientific discoveries. Be sure to visit NASA's Eclipses and Citizen Science website to learn more.
An impending eclipse will be across the entire country.
The eclipse will land in Mexico and cross the entire United States, leaving millions in wonder and awe.
Are you close to the path of totality?
How much of the eclipse will you be able to see?
How long will totality last where you are?
When does it start? Because you don't want to miss it.
Where will you be?
We wanted to use shadows to tell the story about the eclipse, which is all about a huge shadow.
If you would like to make your own shadow puppet stories, here's how you can try this at home.
Shadows are really interesting. On the International Space Station, the temperature can change 400 degrees between light and shadow. Shadows are how we experience eclipses, and they can be a lot of fun to play with.
We're gonna make a shadow puppet theater. You will need a few simple supplies. A cardboard box, thin cardboard like a cereal box or cardstock, tracing paper, an X-Acto knife, scissors, a hole punch, brads, tape, a template for your puppets, or you can draw your own, long skinny sticks, and a light source.
Decide what kind of puppet you want to make. We've decided to make a dog. Using the cereal box, we're going to draw our design and cut out the puppet pieces.
Next, tape sticks to the back of your puppet. To put the puppet together, punch holes and put brads where the joints are. This will allow the puppets to move.
To make your puppet theater, measure the size of your tracing paper and cut a hole in the cardboard box that can be covered by paper. Ask an adult for help if you need to. Our tracing paper is 11 by 14 inches, and we've decided to cut an 8 by 10 inch hole.
Next, tape your tracing paper over the hole in your cardboard box.
Place a light source behind your puppet theater. You can use a flashlight, desk light, or even a bright window.
Put your puppet between the light source and the tracing paper.
To make your shadow puppet come alive, put your puppet close to the tracing paper, then pull it away to see how the shadows change. Use the sticks to make it move.
Once your theater and puppets are created, you can experiment with different designs. Try telling a story with your puppets, and look at how the light and shadows interact.
Some folks write poetry, some sing songs, and others make art.
Alma Thomas was often inspired by the space program, and in 1970, she may have witnessed a total solar eclipse. Later, she produced Eclipse as one of her space paintings. The eclipse is from her series Space Paintings, which includes at least 15 works covering topics from rocket launches to sunsets. Thomas found her source of inspiration in daily life, and although we cannot confirm that Thomas saw it, a total solar eclipse was visible in the United States on March 7, 1970. Thomas's bright colors and bold circular patterns give a dynamic tone appropriate for the fleeting drama of a total solar eclipse and the emanating light of the solar corona.
Whether you paint, draw, or take pictures, here are some ways that you can make your own eclipse art. Beyond the awe and wonder of an eclipse, do you know what it is?
A great excuse to wear awesome glasses.
Not only that, but it's also a lot of fun.
Here are a few fun ways to view the eclipse. This is the second total solar eclipse to pass across the United States in the last 7 years.
In 2017, a total solar eclipse crossed the country, and I got a chance to be in the path of totality. For that eclipse, one of my producers and an astronomy educator from the museum went to Kansas City, Missouri. The school where I used to teach was smack dab in the middle of totality. I got a chance to host the show from there with friends and colleagues. I had seen eclipses before, but not from totality. Before totality, we battled a storm, literally holding down tents. Just before the eclipse started, the clouds went away, and we were able to see the beginning of the eclipse. As the moon slowly covered the sun, it began to get darker and darker. We watched with our glasses, looked at projections of the eclipse, and waited for the big moment. When totality started, someone shouted that you could take off your glasses, and we saw Bailey's beads, where the hills and valleys of the moon allow some light to get through just at the moment of totality. One of my friends took this picture of me during totality. When I saw it the first time, I was surprised at how dark it was when the sun was completely covered. I was completely taken off guard by how emotional the experience would be. It was amazing, and words just left me. I say all of this to encourage you that if you have an opportunity to go to totality, you should go. If you're at 99% and can drive a few miles to make it into the path of totality, do it. Experiencing totality is something that you will never forget. And until you get a chance to experience it, nothing else compares. Beth, back to you.
Thanks, Marty. If you're a teacher in the United States, chances are in the coming weeks you'll be discussing the eclipse. And we've got you covered. Our Teacher Tips document helps connect the eclipse to national learning standards, includes links to a bunch of great classroom activities, and more additional resources. Getting ready for the eclipse is important. But what about after the eclipse? How do you process with your students what they experienced? What is the historical context? What did it mean to them, and was their experience different from the person standing next to them? Be sure to check out our full post-eclipse discussion guide.
The countdown is on. The eclipse is heading your way.
We hope this episode has helped you prepare for the eclipse.
And we hope that you have a great view of the eclipse and get to experience it safely, no matter where you are.
If you like this episode, be sure to follow STEM in 30 on Facebook and Twitter, and subscribe to the National Air and Space Museum's YouTube channel.
Clear skies!
How are you, John?
Good, Mark, how are you?
Hanging in there.
You guys all set?
Yes, we are all set. Well, actually, before we start, we do need to adjourn from,
Oh, yeah.
yeah. Okay,
I'll
so,
make a motion, we adjourn executive session, we convene to open session.
Second.
yes.
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 I think we're ready.
Okay, stand by. All right, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Welcome to the November 4th, 2024 meeting of the Long Meadow Select Board. This is Select Board Chair Vineeth Hemavati. I'll be confirming that all members and persons anticipated on the agenda are present and can hear me. Members, when I call your name, please respond in the affirmative. Dan Zorko,
Yes.
Andrew Lamb,
Yes.
Mark Gold.
Here.
Staff, when I call your name, please respond in the affirmative. Mike Barbieri.
Here.
This open meeting of the Long Meadow Select Board is convened in person and via Zoom webinar as posted on the agenda and town's website, identifying how the public may join. There is no chat or Q&A function. All of the materials for this meeting are available on the agenda posted on longmeadowma.gov. The public is encouraged to follow along using the posted agenda unless I note otherwise. This meeting will feature resident comment. For residents attending the meeting in person, please raise your hand when we get to the comments section of the meeting, and I will call on you to approach the microphone. For residents participating in the meeting via Zoom webinar format, please use the raise hand icon at the bottom of the screen. The meeting moderator will promote you to panelist, unmute you, and give you permission to speak. If you join the webinar by phone, dial *9 to raise your hand and *6 to unmute. Residents who wish to speak will identify their names and addresses only. Each individual is afforded 3 minutes for comments. Please note that this meeting is being recorded and that some attendees are participating by video conference. Please remember to mute your phone or computer when you are not speaking. If anyone in attendance is recording this meeting, please announce yourself now. Okay, we will now begin with the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, we will begin with select board announcements. Sorry, just give me a second here. Computer's slow. The election is set for tomorrow, Tuesday, November 5th, 2024. Polls will be open, thank you, from 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. at the Long Meadow Community House. For additional information and resources, please visit longmeadowma.gov/elections. The fall special town meeting is set for Tuesday, November 12th at 7 p.m. at the Long Meadow High School Gymnasium. The warrant was published on October 25th, and a copy of the warrant can be found at longmeadowma.gov/townmeeting. The Long Meadow Fall Leaf Program has begun. Long Meadow Clear leaf bags are on sale at Big Y, and the curbside collection will occur on Saturday, November 9th, Saturday, November 23rd, and Saturday, December 7th. The drop-off areas in the meadows off of West Road is open 8 a.m. to 5 p.m., 7 days a week through December 8th. A recycle center pass is required. For additional information about the LEAF program, please visit longmeadowma.gov/LEAF program. The Community Preservation Committee, via the Town Clerk's Office, will accept project proposals through November 12th for possible consideration and vote at the 2025 Annual Town Meeting. For additional information about the CPC process and to fill out an application, please visit longmeadowma.gov/civic alerts. The Town of Long Meadow municipal offices will be closed on Monday, November 11th in observance of Veterans Day. Please join us on Monday the 11th for a Veterans Day ceremony at the Memorial on the Long Meadow Town Green at 8 a.m., followed by a Veterans Day breakfast at 9 a.m. at the Long Meadow Adult Center. All right. We will now move on to resident comments. Is anyone here to make a resident comment? Anybody online? Nope. Nope, okay. All right, then we will proceed to board and committee interviews. We've got a few interviews today. We will begin with John Skypeck, looking for reappointment to the Capital Planning Committee. And Mr. Skypeck, if you just start with your name, address, and let us know why you're seeking reappointment.
All right, John Skypeck, 157 Coventry Lane, Long Meadow. So I've been with the Capital Planning Committee for now at least 6 years. I find it, of course, challenging, interesting. I've lived here since the early 1980s and have watched the town grow, change, and with those changes, there are certainly needs and so forth, and this gives me an opportunity to put in my views and comments and so forth, hopefully for better results.
Great, thank you so much. Any questions from the board? Mark?
John, thank you for your work on the Capital Planning Committee. I guess my question is, you've been on the committee long enough to see through new town manager and other through things. I'm looking for any input you may have on how things might become more effective or efficient if we made some changes. Any thoughts?
That is a lengthy, the answer to that question can be quite lengthy.
You've got 15 seconds.
I don't have any comments that can be compacted into just 15 seconds.
I think it's worthwhile, though, for you and maybe others on the Capital Planning Committee to talk to the Select Board about it, because I know we've had discussions along with the town manager of things we can do to make that process more efficient.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Great. Anything else? All right. Thank you so much for joining us, Mr. Skypeck, and we'll vote on your appointment at our next meeting.
All right. Thank you.
Great. Thank you. Next, we have William Welch, interviewing for the Community Preservation Commission. Mr. Welch, your name, address, why you're seeking appointment.
Sure, thank you. William Welch, 25 Meadowbrook Road. I'm seeking appointment to the CPC because I find it an interesting committee. It kind of serves at the crossroads on a number of different projects, given, it serves as a funding source. And having previously served 2 terms on the Finance Committee, I'm somewhat familiar with its role and what it does. And it's, just been something that I have found interesting.
Great. Thank you. Any questions from the board for Mr. Welch?
I'm going to ask Mr. Welch, thank you also for applying. I'm going to ask you the same questions I asked Mr. Skypeck about the process. I know community preservation has some uniqueness and autonomy in the process, but given the relationship between funding, sometimes between community preservation, capital planning, and other groups, are there any thoughts you may want to be able to share with us?
Just from my experience with finance, I think it would be helpful, I think with many of the committees, just to ensure that even before decisions get made, that there is a continuous loop of communication with others. I think sometimes there can be decisions made that, sort of surprise people, and I think it's important just that you maintain some level of communication with others to ensure awareness of things coming down the road.
Thank you.
Great. Thank you. Anything else?
Just quick.
Yeah.
I had thought you had applied for the audit committee. Was that somebody else?
No, he originally, when he applied for multiple committees, the audit committee was checked off as one of them. We had reached out saying that there's been an opening. So the vacancy on the Community Preservation Committee is new. This is somebody who had a term that was going to expire in 2026, I believe. So it's filling a vacant term that somebody actually just resigned within the last, month or two.
So this would be the priority, this committee.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Great.
Thank you for your willingness to serve in many capacities. We all appreciate it.
Yeah, I wanted to say the same. Yeah, thank you for putting your name forward for this. And I think based on all of your experience and, especially some of the work that you've done with the fields, this is that you'll be a good fit here. So thank you for doing this. Yeah. Okay, nothing else. Thank you, and we'll vote on your appointment at our next meeting.
Okay, thank you.
Great, thank you. Council on Aging Board Directors, we have Teresa Yesu. Thank you for joining us. Just if you can begin with your name, address, and why you're seeking appointment.
Teresa Yessen, 167 Homestead Boulevard, Long Meadow, Massachusetts. And I'm seeking a position for the Senior Center Board of Directors. I was on the board previously and had to leave the board because of work conflicts, but I'm a retired medical social worker, primarily working with the elderly. So I feel I was, thrilled that the senior center has been built, and you go in there now, it's buzzing with activity. And I think I was there during that time. And very proud of the senior center.
Great, thank you. Any questions from the board? No, that was easy.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for applying and for joining us tonight, and we'll vote on your appointment at our next meeting. Thank you. And then we have Bob Abel for the Historical Commission.
Good evening. Bob Abel. I live at 165 Converse in the Converse Street School. Nice historic building here in town, and I'm applying for the Historic Commission. I'm a board member on the Historic Society right now, and have been introduced to, I've seen some of you actually at open houses, and I'm really interested actually in kind of interfacing and working with the youth in town. I think that because of the Witness Stone project, there's some interest now in the school system around history, and I think there's a real opportunity to kind of get more interest, particularly with youth in town, and kind of foster that and move it forward. So I have a personal interest long-term in history. I'm still part of the Springfield Historic group, and own the historic home, so kind of just part of who I am.
Great, thank you.
Thank you.
Any questions from the board? Well, I'll say as the liaison to the Historical Commission, I know that we've been trying to get this position filled, so thank you so much for putting your name forward. Really appreciate it. It sounds like you'd be a great fit, so thank you. And we'll vote on your appointment at our next meeting.
Thank you.
Great, thank you so much, Mr. Abel. All right. Select Board comments. Does anybody have a comment that they'd like to make?
I think it would be, I know all of us are joined in recognizing and appreciation for the Takakawa, the delegation that came to visit our town and our schools. And I want to express appreciation for all of the families that hosted, and specific teachers like Lori Schneider, Eric Howard, Paul Dunkerley, and Arthur Thofmazian, who also helped arrange it. So I think we all agree this is a very important cultural exchange that we hope will continue.
Great, thank you. Anyone else? Mark?
Just a question, were we going to do appointments? We got to...
Oh, yeah, skip that. But yeah. But
No, I don't have any
comments?
No.
Dan? Okay.
No.
Just for me, only comment is last week we had another playground opening at Wolf Swamp, and just wanted to thank the folks over at Wolf Swamp for a great ceremony. And getting 3 playgrounds done in 1 year is just not something that you see happen in town. So this is a really big undertaking, and a lot of people to thank, and just, this is something that we should really be proud of. And we'll look forward to maybe a year or two for the Bliss Park playground opening. And then just going back to board appointments, I will entertain any motions on the appointments.
I'll make a motion that we appoint Steve Gelling to fill a 3-year vacancy on the Council on Aging Board of Directors to expire 6/30/27, and appoint Erwin Pers to fill a 3-year vacancy on the Recycling Commission that expires 6/30/2027.
Second.
Okay. Any further discussion? All right, all those in favor? All right, great. All right, so we will skip the town manager's report, wait for Lynn to come back. Then we have 3 different sets of meeting minutes. Any comments or motions?
No. I'll make a motion. I had actually sent Mike their minor typos, so I don't think they're worth going through them, but I'll make a motion that we accept the draft minutes of the September 16th, 2024 Select Board meeting.
Second.
Any further discussion? All right, all those in favor? Great.
I'll make a motion that we approve the minutes of the September 24th special Select Board meeting.
Second.
Any further discussion? All right, all those in favor?
And I'll make a motion that we approve the draft minute meetings of the October 7th, 2024 regular Select Board meeting.
Second.
Any further discussion? All right, all those in favor? All right, great. And then, do we have Erica on?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So we'll move over to new business and our quarterly investment report. Hi, Erica, can you hear us?
Good evening. I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yep, we can hear you. Thank you so much for joining us, and I'll turn it over to you to talk about our quarterly investment report.
Great, thank you. I'm attending tonight to submit my quarterly report on the status of the town's cash and investments for the period ending September 30th, 2024. As per the investment policy, the town held no long-term investments that exceeded the 5-year limit. The individual bank balances were under the $20 million balance provision. All banks received the highest safety rating of green from VeriBank, and all accounts are fully insured or secured. The first quarter of fiscal year 2025 has seen very stable interest rates with only small decreases that resulted from the Fed dropping the interest rates in September. The treasurer and assistant treasurer, we continue to monitor interest rates and move funds to the appropriate accounts that will optimize investments with the best return. The OPEB Pension Reserve Investment Fund experienced a gain in quarterly interest. The quarter ended with a net increase of approximately $359,000, and the September 30th balance in the fund is approximately $8.3 million. Also noteworthy, during the first quarter, the town earned a total of approximately $942,000 in interest. The Treasurer's Office will continue to seek the best possible interest rates and diversify funds appropriately to maximize investment potential while being in compliance with Massachusetts state laws and regulations. We will also continue to closely monitor all accounts to ensure the safety and security of all investments.
Great, thank you so much, Erica. Do we have any questions from the board? Go ahead, Mark.
Yeah, Erica, thanks for doing this. So, have any of our banks or investment, firms told us of expected changes in interest rates? I'm thinking in terms of, we might want to lock in money for longer terms if we can, if the interest rates are going down. Is there any comment about that at all?
Yes, I'm actually glad you brought that up. So we have a CD for the stabilization funds that just came up for maturity, and I will definitely include this again on the next quarterly report. But reaching out to all the banks to try and find the best rate, I did find that there was pretty significant drops in interest rates, but was able to secure a rate with People's Bank. I don't have it in front of me, but it was just under 5%, so it was another year term. I tried to get the highest rate possible for around a year so we could lock them in for a longer period of time at those rates, knowing that they are going to drop again.
Thank you.
Great, thank you.
Keep up the good work.
Anything else? All right, great. Thank you so much for joining us, Erica.
Thank you. Have a great night, everyone.
Yep, you too. All right, and then we've got the Senior and Veteran Volunteer Abatement Program. I believe we've got Mr. Layden on with us to talk about it.
Yes, hi, good evening.
Good evening. Thank you for joining us. I will turn it over to you to talk about the abatement program.
Sure. So we put together the application for 2025 for the real estate tax abatement program. We're looking forward to having the program once again conducted through the Senior Center. Been very successful over the years. Last year we upped the number of applicants up to 30, so I'm expecting to have probably another full lineup of volunteers to participate throughout town departments coming up in the new year.
Great, thank you. And how many folks took advantage of this past year?
Last year, we hit the maximum of 30.
Okay, were there any folks that we had to turn away?
We had a couple people that were not able to finish the program, and then, but we had a number of veterans and seniors that were able to participate.
Okay, great. And, it seems like every year more and more people are trying to, take advantage of this program. Do you see 30 as still a good number, or do you recommend changing that number?
I think 30 for right now is really good. I think over the past years we were around 20, then we were up to 25, and then last year we hit 30, and I think that that's been a really good number. We were able to use a lot of volunteers at the center, and we were also able to utilize a lot of the volunteers in some other town departments too. So I think as of right now, 30 is probably a really good number.
Okay, great, thank you. Yeah, I think this is a great program, and obviously any type of relief we can give our seniors or veterans, I want to be in support of it. So thank you, for all of your work as part of this program as well. Any questions from the board?
I think we need a motion to accept to adopt the abatement program for fiscal year 2025. So I'll make that motion.
Yeah. Any questions before we make motions or anything for Mr. Layden? No. Okay. Go ahead, Mark.
Second that.
Any further discussion? Okay. All those in favor? All right, great. Thank you so much for joining us.
Okay, thanks for having me. Have a good night.
You too.
You too.
Thanks.
All right. So I think we are at the end here, but we skipped the town manager's report.
I could read it off if
Okay,
you want,
yeah.
or if you want to, whatever works best for you.
Yeah, I can read it off.
Okay.
Okay. So the first item on Lynn's town manager's report was the MSBA approval of feasibility study for the middle school. And pleased to report that the Board of Massachusetts School Building Authority has voted to approve the town of Longmeadow as part of its invitation for feasibility study to proceed into schematic design to consolidate the student population of the existing Glenbrook Middle School and Williams Middle School to construct a new facility serving grades 6 through 8 on the site of the existing Williams Middle School. This is another milestone in the process. Next up, the town, in conjunction with its owner's project manager and designer, will submit a schedule to the MSBA, which includes the work plan to complete all of the required documentation for presentation to the MSBA's Board of Directors at a future board meeting, the date of the town meeting at which the proposed project will be considered, and the anticipated design and construction schedule. This will be done with an anticipated vote in the fall of 2025, seeking community approval for this proposed project. The next item is the MSBA Accelerated Repair Project for the center school roof. MSBA's Board of Directors voted to invite the town of Longmeadow into the Accelerated Repair Program to collaborate with the MSBA in conducting a schematic design study at the Center Elementary School for a potential roof replacement project. Article 2 at the upcoming fall special town meeting converts previously approved capital improvement project funding for a partial roof replacement at Center School to be used toward funding the schematic design study. The MSBA Accelerated Repair Project will include all phases of the Center School roof. Longmeadow was awarded its first ever MassWorks infrastructure grant in the amount of $285,000, which will fund essential intersection and roadway design improvements from the Redfern Drive William Street intersection to the intersection of William Street, Bliss Court, and Bliss Road. The eligibility for this grant opportunity was made possible due to the zone change of the church parcel and the upcoming redevelopment of said parcel. This funding is vital for enhancing traffic circulation and pedestrian safety in a bustling area that serves as a hub for local commerce and community activities. This stretch is one of the busiest in Longmeadow, with 3 major shopping plazas converging in the vicinity and significant traffic volume. This area is known for congestion and safety concerns, particularly during peak hours such as school drop-off and pickup at Longmeadow High School. The proposed improvements will align with the town's complete streets policy and include the addition of dedicated turn lanes, ADA-compliant sidewalks and ramps, compliant traffic signals, enhanced pedestrian crossings, and bicycle lanes. These upgrades will create a more accessible and safe environment for both motorists and pedestrians, encouraging foot traffic and promoting local businesses. Additionally, the project will address existing stormwater management issues that have plagued the area, particularly during heavy rain events. The town's stormwater system is currently unable to handle the flow, resulting in localized flooding that impacts properties and roadways. Increasing the capacity of the system is essential for supporting new developments, such as the upcoming Town Shops project, which aims to transform a long vacant parcel into a vibrant shopping plaza. Community engagement will be a critical component of this project. The town plans to host workshops and meetings to gather input from residents, ensuring that voices are heard in the design process. The town has successfully conducted similar community outreach efforts in recent months and aims to continue this collaborative spirit moving forward. The next item is about the Bay Path Wildcats volleyball team. Lynn was excited to share some record-breaking information from Long Meadow's very own Bay Path University Wildcats volleyball team. On Friday, October 25th, Bay Path University defeated the Mount Holyoke College volleyball team 3-1, giving the Wildcats their first ever victory in 9 meetings against the Lions. The win against Mount Holyoke was the team's 13th win of the season, which tied the program for most wins in a season. This lined the team up for a game on Wednesday, October 30th, to be a record-breaking game. What makes this even more impressive is that the Wildcats' home court is none other than the Longmeadow Adult Center Gymnasium. The Wildcats won their game on October 30th, 2024 in the Adult Center gym and broke the university's record. Way to go, Wildcats. Games at the Adult Center are open to the public and highlight a great partnership between the town and the university. And the last item concerns the Greenwood Center municipal offices. This is a reminder worth repeating. Town Hall and Community House offices have relocated to Greenwood Center, 231 Maple Road. The town clerk's office will remain at Town Hall until December 2024. Voting for the presidential election will take place at the Community House. The mail drop box for property taxes, utility bills, and vote-by-mail ballots will remain at Town Hall for the time being. The consolidation of municipal offices at Greenwood Center is still a work in progress, and there are punch list items that need to be completed. Please be patient with offices while they settle in and get used to their new workspaces. We look forward to welcoming all members of the public at a formal open house at Greenwood Center in December. Details will be announced soon. Obviously, Lynn's not here to answer questions about the report, but anybody have any comments? Yeah, go ahead, Mark.
I don't know if everybody else has had a chance to go down to Greenwood Center, but they really did a good job there.
Yeah.
I think everybody's
Good job
there
reading
by
that.
now.
That was,
Yeah, I was gonna
that was
say,
a lot.
yeah, Vineet,
Yeah, of course, Lynn
yeah,
leaves.
Vineet, can you repeat that?
Vineet, I know that the meeting is ending, which is great, early. It must be Josh's fault. But I think it's worth repeating to people who have not already voted that they should, or voted early or voted by mail, that they should go vote tomorrow. Polls are open at 7 a.m. I think they're open from 7 a.m. to 8 p.m.
PM, yep.
Yeah, and thank you, as Mark says, thank you to all the poll workers. I mean, we've been voting early for weeks or days now. I mean, so they've been, thank you to all the volunteers and all their work that they've been doing as well.
Yeah, absolutely. It's been a big undertaking. Anything else? Any comments about correspondence? Okay, all right.
Motion to adjourn?
Second.
Any further discussion? All those in favor? All right, thank you, everyone.